Pregame.com.
The Wednesday crew on pregame.tv back for one more free pick video. Vegas Runner and myself, Brady Kannon. Steve Fezzik not with us this week. He was here yesterday. You can check out those videos of his on pregame.com. The game we're going to talk about right now, the Arizona Cardinals go out on the road, one of the hottest teams against the spread in the NFL currently, against the Tennessee Titans in Nashville. VR, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, Arizona, 8-5 straight up, but 9-4 against the spread. And more importantly, they come in having covered 4 straight games, but now the premium's attached. I made my line Arizona -1, 1.5, and I thought I was being generous to the Arizona side. I could get +3 here with Tennessee. I think there's a lot of line value. And here's a Tennessee ball club that's returning home after 3 straight road games. And if you, before going on the road, they had played tough there at home. The last 2 home games, they lost by a combined 5 points. So that you know you're going to get effort from this team when they play at home. And then you look at Arizona. We said about the premium being attached when the team covers the way they have and they start to get their attention of the betting market. But you add to that who they have on deck, Seattle and San Fran.
Exactly.
And this one has look ahead written all over it and upset with a good defense that Tennessee has. I think they're going to be in the game from start to finish, and I would not be surprised if they take it to this Arizona team.
Well, not only do they have Seattle and San Francisco, 2 powerhouses on deck, but they're both in their division. So they've certainly got every bit of their attention because Arizona's fighting for a wild card.
Exactly.
Right? And now they got to take this little hiatus out on the road. I don't think this one may have their full attention. Also interesting to note, Arizona 0-5 against the spread as a road favorite off a win. We know how good they are at home, but they have struggled on the road. Agree.
Totally here. I like Tennessee.
So Tennessee, a 3-point underdog in this one. You said you made Arizona maybe a 1-point favorite. I actually had Tennessee as about a 1-point favorite.
I thought I was being generous.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was around pick on me. Then I'm like, let me look hard. You know what I mean? There's something I'm missing.
The only tough part for me is, you know, the eyeball test. We see Arizona, boy, they're looking good.
Exactly.
In Tennessee, we just don't know what team's going to show up.
I agree.
If you can get Chris Johnson running the ball, they're very powerful.
That's the key.
But, you know, like you say, that eyeball test adds to that line value as well.
I agree. I think the bettors are going to bet this up. Arizona's going to be one of the most one-sided public bet teams on Sunday for sure.
Yeah, because they look at the scoreboard last week with Tennessee, and it looks like they got killed. But they really didn't get killed until late.
Yeah, they played well. They played well for 30 minutes. Yeah,
absolutely.
They played real well.
Really, you know, 45 minutes.
Yes, agree.
And Arizona being one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now, I see where you're coming from on that. You ready to make this official?
Arizona, Tennessee, I'm going to go ahead and take the dog again in this one. I just think Arizona coming off 4 straight ATS covers is a bit overvalued here. The premium's obviously attached based on my power ratings, based on Brady's power ratings, who I obviously respect. So I know I'm getting line value. And then you couple that with the motivational situation in here when you have Arizona with 2 big games coming up in division against Seattle and San Fran, playing a Tennessee team that we know plays tough at home, and they're coming off 3 straight road games. I really think they're going to surprise this Arizona team with a defense that allows only 5.5 yards per play and opposing quarterbacks about an 80-82 quarterback rating. Couple that with a Palmer that's not 100%, it's going to be a long afternoon in Tennessee. Take the Titans, sprinkle a little something there too as well.
An interesting note about this game, VR. Tennessee, when you look at the stats between these 2 teams, they really wholeheartedly are better than Arizona on defense and offense on 3rd down conversions. Their defense gets off the field much quicker than Arizona does typically, and their offense stays on the field longer than Arizona does typically. A big stat in the NFL. You can keep converting those 3rd down conversions and make stops on defense. That's huge.
Can you believe the season's almost over?
I know.
3 more weeks and the NFL's over. College is already over. The bowls are coming. 3 more weeks and the NFL's over. And this is, I think, one of the best times of the year for bettors to really get the best of it. You have all the holidays. You have an influx of recreational bettors looking for action. And I think there's a lot of line value out there.
A lot of situations late in the year, too.
I'm so
you
hyped, man.
You have playoff implications. Then you have the last couple weeks of the season, like you talk about with your Colts pick. A team may be laying down, trying to get ready for something else, and you've got a motivated team. In fact, Tennessee, they're trying to get to 500
Exactly.
on the year.
There's still season goals for teams that aren't going to the playoffs to
Absolutely.
reach, and that's so huge. I always look at that going into the last week of the season. When you see a team a game below 500, and they know they're not going to the playoffs, but it's huge for them to get to 500
Sure.
or a game above 500. Just because you're not reaching your season goal of winning, the Lombardi Trophy,
Right.
there's still goals to be reached by a lot of these teams.
It seems almost the situational sides of the handicapping outweigh the statistical side when you get down to these last
I
few
agree.
games.
And that's the human factor that I argue against the numbers guys.
Right.
There's a time of the year you got to realize, and pretty much the entire year for all sports, that these are human beings we're talking about.
Right.
They're not machines. They're not computers. They're not robots. It's not just numbers. It's not a number. It's a numbers game as far as betting the best number and getting the best number, but it's not a numbers game as far as just statistically you're going to pick winners.
Right.
I don't believe so.
Absolutely. Well, that'll wrap it up for us. San Diego and Denver, we took the Chargers plus 10.5. Houston and Indianapolis, we took the Texans plus 6. And Arizona and Tennessee, we took the Titans plus 3. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back next week. Pregame.tv.